welcome to your daily love reading for Friday. Fabulous Friday. My name's Liz and this is Guided by Angels. And I'm going to bring in 4 decks of cards for this reading today. We're going to bring in the beautiful Chakra Tarot. I'm also going to bring in the Masculine Madness 1 and 2, both by Bridget. And I'm going to bring in the Exploring the Empath Oracle. So obviously, even though these are masculine cards, they can be used for anything. And you can use any deck for anything. So you can use tarot to do an angel reading, angel readings, angel cards to do a tarot reading. You know, there's many ways you can use cards and connect with certain tools. So we're going to connect with the energy around you and them in the journey and see what's going on. And if you would like a personal reading with me, you can reach out to me at guidedbyangelsreadings@gmail.com. So thank you, angels. What's the message for you today? What's the guidance for you straight out there? What's the guidance for them today? There we go. And what's the guidance today for this amazing journey that we're on? What's the guidance for this journey today? That's it. 1 card for each. Very powerful. What's the energy around you today? Straight out. So you may be struggling a little bit today. You may be having some sleepless nights or worry. Well, we're going to work out how you can release that. What's the energy coming in around them? And that could definitely also be their energy picking up on. So you may actually be feeling restless or feeling a bit strange today because of what they are experiencing. What's the energy around the journey today? There we go. Yeah, the Chariot, because things are moving forward. So you're going to feel that. Things are moving forward even if it feels stuck or it seems stuck in a physical way, but you're going to feel the shift. So what's the energy that we need to know for you today? What's the energy or the message we need to know for you today? So this could be connected with them. It could be what you're experiencing about them or what you're going through yourself. So what's the energy around you? And what's the energy around them today? What's the energy around them? Flying out. Okay, flying out there. What's the energy around the journey today? What's the energy around the journey? Thank you, angels. 1 card. Very clear. Again, 1 card coming out to each deck there. And then with the Madness 2, and this deck can be a little bit raunchy, so I will give you the PG version of this, and I may not be able to show you the cards if some of them come out and they're intimate, but we'll see what comes out. So what's the message for you? What's the message for them, or what's going on with them? And what's the message for the journey? What's the guidance for the journey? So I love how, like, just 1 card out to each deck. I did see that then, that's watching. So they are definitely watching you right now. They're spying on you. You may even be watching them. So this could be mirrored. You could be connecting with them. You could be seeing what they're up to, but they're definitely seeing what you're up to. So a lot of spying going on. So let's see what the energy is then. So first of all, the message for you is researching the mystical world. Now this is very powerful because this really resonates with yesterday's reading or the day before, where we talked about waking up and seeing things in a new way. I think it was Wednesday's reading talking about you understanding that the way they behave sometimes is because it's fear-based energy they're in. And I feel the 24 is significant to 2 things. The first thing is, since 2024, you've been waking up more and more to the mystical side of this connection or the mystical world you're living in. So you've been becoming more spiritual, more psychic. You've been understanding things in a very deep, higher way. So this is when really you've been through a lot of understanding. So since 2024, there's been big shifts internally within you, and that's been creating external things within you and around you. So many of you may look at your life in 2024 and recognize it's a lot different then than it is now in 2025. Because you've been doing your research, you've been learning your lessons, you've been recognizing why things happen. And this can also be that you may even be researching things to share with the world. So many of you could actually be doing your own YouTube channels right now since 2024, or you've been sharing more mystical things on your Facebook or your TikTok or your Instagram. You may be doing more spiritual things, so you may be attending spiritual events. You may be reading more spiritual books. You may be understanding more spiritual things. So I feel this is really about, since 2024, you've been going through a real shift within yourself. And it doesn't matter how long you've been aware of the mystical world. This is about changes since 2024. And this will be because 2020 to 2024 was also a period where there was a lot of understanding and growth taking place, and where there was a lot of healing going on. Look at what we went through, pandemic and everything else, all that craziness that went on. Coming out the other side of that, it's like helped you to see things in a new way. So 2024 was a turning point for your powerful internal journey. And I also see the 2 and the 4 as in 2 to 4. So either between February and April, which resonates with me on my journey, or over the last 2 to 4 weeks or 2 to 4 months, you've been going through some kind of healing and awareness, which can come through pain, dark night of the soul, separation, things perhaps not going to plan. You could have gone through a loss, you could have gone through some kind of destruction, which could be financial or changes. So this is all how you see things in a higher way. So I feel whatever you've been going through really since 2024, and whatever you've been experiencing over the last few months or from February to April, woke you up big time. And it's helped you to recognise that things are not always what they seem. And that's why you do know that if you are having any anxiety, sleepless nights or worry, it may not necessarily be your anxiety or worry. It's coming from them, or you may even be picking it up from other people because you are an empath. So you may also be picking up on other people's pain or other people's shame or other people's guilt or other people's worry too. Especially if you're helping others and you're not shielding yourself properly, or perhaps you're not cutting cords. If you are perhaps having a long conversation with someone who's in a lot of pain, if you don't ask Archangel Michael to cut that cord, he can drag you down, you can carry it around. So it's like if you're taking on other people's pain and you're not cleansing yourself properly or shielding yourself properly, every time you have a conversation, it's like you put on a big heavy coat. So imagine if you put 5 and 6 heavy coats on top of each other, eventually you wouldn't be able to move. You know, you'd be like the Michelin man, you wouldn't be able to move. You know, we've got the Michelin here in Stoke, where I'm from, in UK. You know, you wouldn't be able to move, you'd be stuck. You know, they show me like putting on a sumo wrestler suit and not being able to move properly because you're carrying around too much, so you've got to let that go. Okay, so make sure you're shielding yourself. You know, the way I do it is I ask the angels to do it naturally, because many people say to me, how do I do a Q&A? You know, I answer many questions. How do I handle that? And the angels have always done it this way for me. If you're Harry Potter fans watching, you know, Dumbledore had a pensieve, and what that did was he took his wands and he extracted memories out of his mind and then put them into this pensieve, which was like a big vessel thing, like a vat, where they all went into. Okay, and that's where they all swirled around, and you know, and that's what the angels do with me. They take it out of your head. You know, it's like if you catch a ghost in Ghostbusters, where does it go? It goes into the trap, and then you have to release it into something. So you release it into the ether. So when you have a conversation with someone, just release it into the ether for transmutation and healing, and then the angels will heal all involved. So I feel this is you recognizing if you are struggling, it may not be your struggle. And that's what you're becoming aware of. The more mystical you become, the more you tap in with your spiritual gifts, the more psychic you are, the more you take on other people's energies and you feel them. And it can, if you're not shielding yourself properly, affect you. Some of you may actually be feeling a bit rough today because you had a sleepless night. So maybe you didn't sleep very well, you were restless, and that was because you were connecting with your twin in that way. So make sure you're breathing today and take your time. There's no need to rush anything. Because also this could be that, you know, you're tired today when you are going around your day. Yeah, you've got anxiety coming from them. It's their anxiety. It may even be that you were worrying because there could be some kind of gossip going on. So you've got gossip and anxiety. So gossip could be bringing up anxiety. So the first thing I'm connecting with is if people are talking about you, perhaps talking about what you're doing or talking about you at work. And obviously it doesn't really matter what people think, as long as you know who you are and you know what you're doing is right for you and you're enjoying what you're doing and you're operating your highest version, then that's all good. As long as you're right with self and source, you and God, that's all that matters. So don't worry if people are talking about you. People can talk about you because you're doing something good, People can also talk about you because they are afraid of what you're doing. People are afraid sometimes of what they don't understand, so they can try and ridicule it. So don't worry if you're doing something and people are talking, or, especially if you've started a platform and people are giving feedback to you, you've got to be very neutral, because it's always about what the people or the person is going through. It's not directly about you at all. So don't be ashamed of what you're doing. Okay, if you're following your heart and doing good, don't worry about gossip. Don't worry about people saying things. You just keep doing you. Don't let that bring anxiety up in you. Breathe through that and let it go. Or if people are talking about you saying, oh, you don't know what you're doing, or you should be with someone else, or this or that, let them have their own ideas of what you should be doing in your life. You know who you are. So don't let gossip bring anxiety in or keep you up at night. And really what I'm also feeling is your person is lying awake at night ashamed of what they've said to you. So they may have said something to you that's really hurt you and triggered you, and they are feeling very anxious about it now, and it's keeping them up at night. And you know this because you can sense it. So I have so much going on right now. I'm sorry I can't be who you need me to be. I'm ashamed of what I said and what I did. So they've got a lot going on, and that's also keeping them up at night. So many of them could be stressing over money right now, family life, general things they've got going on. They're feeling overwhelmed by their life in general, and that's keeping them up at night. But they're also feeling anxious about things they've said, and they're worried how you perceive them, what you're feeling. So that's why you're feeling this energy. Okay, maybe you've got a lot going on right now, okay, and you're dealing with your own stuff, and that's bringing up anxiety too. But I feel there is someone watching who may be struggling because someone is gossiping about you or talking about you, and it doesn't matter. Okay, don't let it affect you. Nothing can affect you without your own permission. You have an insight into the mystical world. And when you are mystical and magical yourself, and you're a light worker, and you're a lighthouse, and you operate in the light, you're going to trigger people's dark wounds. You're going to trigger people's darkness. So that's a good thing, because that's why you've come to the earth. If you weren't here to help, you wouldn't be triggering people. So your light, it really kind of gets under people's skin sometimes, and the way you are. If you're a positive person, people who are naturally negative get triggered by you. Not by you directly, but the way you operate. Because really they want to be more like you. So they try and drag you into darkness. Don't let anyone dim your light. And never dim your light to fit in with anyone else either. They're blocking my throat. Speak up for yourself and be you, but do it in a very gentle way. You lead by example, by living in the light and positivity, not by getting involved in drama or gossip. So the energy around them today, we've got celebrating the world's diversity. So I feel what they are realising is it's okay to be different from the world. It's okay to do things differently than they've always done. So I feel this is really about them breaking free from programming, conditioning, society, what society says they should do, what their family say they should do or expect them to do. And they are realising they can actually celebrate in a new way. They can celebrate themselves in a new way, that they can make changes. So I feel this is definitely them realising it's time to do it my way. And this may well be something they've been working out since March to July. So again, this would resonate if you've been through your own dark night of the soul, or if things kind of went strange or a bit crazy over February to April, because it was a crossover with what they've started to realise. It's okay to be different. And that's what I'm connecting with. Instead of following the crowd, doing things the way they've always done it, they want to celebrate this diversity within their own self. Say it's okay to be different. It's okay to live my life my way. And that's why they want this relationship with you, because the Ace of Cups is about the relationship, and this is what they're moving towards. So obviously we've got the Chariot coming through as well for the journey, but I'm seeing the red energy as the root chakra, and them taking action towards the relationship with you, because that's what they desire, and that's what they want to celebrate, and that's what they're working towards. So they are saying to you, my mind is torturing me with reminders of you everywhere I go. So they are tortured by you because they can't stop thinking about you. And it tortures them, it haunts them at night. They're haunted in the day. They see you everywhere they go. They get reminded of you through subtle signs and synchronicities. There's no coincidence. I went out the other day and walked outside, and a car pulled in front of me, And it was actually, I don't know if I said this in a previous reading, but I actually, it pulled in front of me. So it was divinely timed, and it was a learner driver car. It was like a driving school car, and it got like one of them revolving things on the top of the car, and it got my twin's first name on there, and it said learning school or something like that. And I thought that was huge, because not only was the universe shoving his name in front of my face, but also showing me still learning in this school of life. So your person is tortured by you, and they will be reminded of you in that way. So they may go into a shop, and the person that serves them looks a bit like you, or maybe has a name tag on with your name on, or they hear a song and it puts them in the feelings about you, because a lot of them are very into music. Some of them are actually very musical themselves, but they may listen to music because they shuffle songs, remember, the way that we shuffle cards, or the way that we connect with readings. So they are tortured because they're constantly thinking about you, and they're also thinking about the things they've done that have hurt you and let you down. And there's fear and anxiety, remember, about that. That's what's keeping them up at night. But ultimately, they are moving closer and closer to being with you. There's a big shift taking place within them, and they want this with you. And they're saying, I can't show you this card because it's a bit naughty, but it's charming. And it says, I'm going to charm the clothes right off of you. So they want to charm you. They want you to see the right side of them, the good side of them. That's what I'm really connecting with. Yes, they want you and they want to be intimate with you, and that's what this card is sharing. But really what they're saying is, I want you to see the good side of me. I want to charm you. I want to get into your good graces. I want you to see the good in me. I want you to recognise that I do want to be with you, and I do want to celebrate our love. So that's what they're moving towards. So I see that they are tortured by you, and they're going to continue to be tortured by you until they make this move. And when I say tortured, I don't mean in a bad way, like they're feeling, this is horrible. They are being tortured because the universe is shoving you in their face in many ways, and it's torturing them not being with you. It's like the worst thing in the world, because they want you that badly. It's hurting them to not be there. So the universe is giving them constant signs and synchronicities about you. So the journey, we've got awareness of cosmic influences. And I love that we've got 33, because I feel Jesus himself is assisting this journey. Why? Because it's a journey of unconditional love. So you may see the number sequence 33 or 333, which is the master number. So there's awareness. So you're both coming into awareness that they're giving me a block. They're giving me like an itchy throat chakra. And it's like a tingle. So it's not like a big block though, it's like the itch to communicate. So obviously they are being divinely guided to reach out to you. And you can feel and sense that. And that may even be keeping you up at night, because you can feel something's coming. But you're both coming into awareness that there are other things assisting. In other words, divine intervention, angels assisting, the universe, other people being sent in to help. And they give me a block here until the block is released. So you're both aware that there are cosmic influences, things helping the journey, assisting the journey, and sometimes getting in the way of the journey for the right reasons, to learn lessons and bring in change. So you're aware, I know that I'm being divinely guided. I know that we're going to be together. The universe has got my back. And that's when you see things like spiders or crows. And I spoke about that in Wednesday's members reading. We've got the chariot. So things are moving forward. And again, it's connected with the root. Okay, getting to the root of things, moving things forward. The red energy is also connected with Archangel Metatron, who is the angel of divine timing. He does many other things as well, including making you very aware of these cosmic influences and opening you up to that. But I feel that what he's really doing is helping you to trust in the timing. And this is also letting you know, if you don't already know, that July was a big turning point. July, things have started moving forward. Even if you feel like they've been stuck or stagnant, no. There's something big going on behind the scenes with these cosmic influences that you can't even see. And they are influencing things because they are influences in your life. So things are moving forward. So you could see speeding cars, you could see speeding motorbikes, you could see a red car, which is a sign of divine timingly it moving forward in divine timing. You could see other things that bring in movement, fast movement. It's a huge sign of change. Now we've got your eyes see into the depths of my soul, and you've got watching. So look at the eyes, 2 eyes there, eyes watching. Both of these cards are about watching. So I feel that you, the divine feminine, are watching them, and they, the divine masculine, are watching you in some way, shape or form. So I don't feel that you're doing it the same way that they do. You know, they're doing it in a very sneaky way because they don't want you to know that they're watching you. So they could be doing this, you know, late at night. They also don't want anyone else to know. So if there's a karmic partner, for example, they may be watching you in a very sneaky way. They could be watching you when they're at work or when they're out of the house, or they could be doing it late at night. Or they could have you hidden somewhere on their device. So they could be doing it in that very sneaky way. Or if you live close by, they could actually be following you, okay? Or they could be driving around where you live, or they could be looking through the curtains like this, the blinds, and you don't even know. Or they could be checking you out on social media in a very sneaky way. So they are doing it without you knowing, but you will feel it. Because you know it, because their eyes, you know, when you're connecting through the eyes, because the eyes are the windows to the soul, when their eyes are on you, you'll feel it burning into you. And that could also be keeping you up at night. Well, you can feel it. You can more than likely sense it, that they're watching you. And it says, your eyes see into the depths of my soul. So remember, when you look into each other's eyes, when you look into their eyes, you can see the truth. And I feel what you may be doing, I don't feel you're like sneakily stalking them or watching them. It's more likely you're thinking, I just want to look at a picture of them just to see if they're okay. You know, because you may see a picture of them and you can see in their eyes they're in pain, or you can see if they are happy or not. You can see through the mask, the illusion. You know, they show me as well, someone may have sunglasses on, so you may not be able to see their eyes, but you can definitely still, you know, penetrate into their soul. So I feel what you're doing is you're looking at them in a very healing way for healing purposes, you know, wondering, are they okay? What are they going through? It's a more gentle healing coming from you when you're connecting with them. They are doing it in a more dramatic way, as in, I'm frustrated, I want you, I don't want you to know I want you, but I do, and I'm trying to find out what you're doing. And it's more angry and aggravated. So you can tell that with the colouring. You know, you've got the beautiful green for you, and you've got this kind of grey area coming through for them. So to them, it may feel like a grey area watching you, whereas to you, it's very natural because you feel like you're not doing anything wrong. You just want to know how they are and how everything is. Whereas they may be wearing a mask still. They may feel like, oh, I shouldn't be watching you, or I shouldn't be doing this. And that's also bringing anxiety in, because it also makes them question their own behaviour. You know, I want this person, so why am I sneaking around? Why am I behaving this way? So you have to look beyond the illusion. So what I'm going to do is a little extra thing. I'm going to bring in the structure deck again to bring in a question. And we're going to bring in the dragons to answer it. So let's do that. Okay, actually, no, let's bring the wood snake in. The wood snake say, no, it's my year. Let's connect with the wood snake. So thank you, angels. Is there any particular question we need to be asking today? This is my deck divine structure for twin flames. I use this in members readings. So is there a question we need to be connecting with today? And before I actually turn that over, let's answer it with the snake. So what does the wood snake want to say about it? What does the wood snake want to say? This deck is a deck from Etsy, and it's a downloadable deck if you want to get this. And I actually printed it all out and put it onto card. That's why it's the way it is. That's why it's so big. That's the way I shuffle it. So this is the answer to whatever this question is. So we've got Sagittarius energy. Now, the first thing I'm connecting with here is this about vision and focus, because the Sagittarius is the archer. So the archer has a very clear vision. So this could well be about what you need to focus on between now and December, which resonates again with what we connected with yesterday when I connected with Santa Claus coming through, St. Nicholas. So this could be, you know, we'll see what this card is, but what I'm channeling here is what do you need to focus on as we move towards December, because Sagittarius energy is the 22nd of November to the 21st of December. So that month may be pivotal to what comes out here. Maybe you're a Sagittarius, your person is, that's an extra sign for you. But I feel this is more about what to focus on or what to do as we move towards the Sagittarius season. Yeah, we've got everything there is happening for you. This is very powerful. So with this deck, okay, there's a lot of cards like this, okay, where the message is on the card. And then there was a few cards that were blank with different pictures. So I channel the wood snake and channeled a message onto the card. And the message is everything that is happening for you. So this is what you need to be aware of moving forward. So keep your focus on that. So in other words, what the wood snake is, instead of being stressed out, frustrated, triggered or angered by things, keep your focus uplifted and instead say to yourself, this is happening for me. Even if you feel like it's falling apart or things are going backwards or things have gone crazy or whatever it is, say, okay, this is part of the journey then. This is all part of the process. Everything is actually working out in my favour. It's actually working out for me. It's working out for our connection. It's bringing them to me. Whatever it is. Whatever you're going through right now that you feel is in the way of your connection or causing a problem, instead of being negative about it and stressing over it, say, okay, this is all part of the process. Without this, we wouldn't be in union. We wouldn't get there in the first place. So thank you, God, for this lesson, this person, this situation, this experience, this challenge, whatever it is. Because everything is working out for you. And what it reminds me of is, I saw a little short, and I did share it not long ago, of this little bird that was struggling in the wilderness, and it was being very negative, and a dove flew over and spoke to the bird and flew to heaven, and the angel said, go and tell that bird to thank God for everything. So the dove flew to the bird and said, no matter what's going on, no matter how bad things are, thank God for everything. And within 7 days of doing that, his life turned around. And this is reminding you, be grateful, focus on gratitude. Focus on knowing that God has a plan and he loves you and he wants what's best for you. And that everything right now that's happening to you, whatever it is happening for the good of your journey, for the good of your soul growth, for the good of the connection, for the good of your person. So have faith in what will be. I hope this helps. Have a great day and I'll see you soon.